Although Deadpool has not had a strong presence in the world of video games compared to characters like Batman and Spider-Man, it has not completely disappeared. For example, in 2013, Deadpool was released in partnership with the Activision and HIGHER.T studios, which told a new story of the character in the form of hack-and-slash game. When the game came out, it wasn't very well received, and neither the original nor the remastered scored well on Metacritic. Of course, the game itself had problems that could not be ignored. As the time goes on, the negative reviews of Deadpool have faded, and it seems that the game had found its true fans. Despite the aforementioned problems, this game also deserves its own recognition. Now I want to start with the game's problem because I don't want to stray from reality and say that the Deadpool was a perfect title. This game has problems in several aspects. The game was criticized for many issues, from repetitive stage design to simple combat. While you may disagree about the severity of the blow, these issues have dealt to the gaming experience. It's undeniable that Deadpool was a simple and extremely straightforward game. Basically, it can be argued about this type of design was intentional, but people looking for more complex action game may have been disappointed by the simplicity of Deadpool's gameplay. Just as the game had undeniable weaknesses, it also had many strengths that deserve appreciation and attention. The main one is the successful humor of the game. The game executed Deadpool's own famous joke with not any regard. You might say that the humor can't appeal to everyone in general, especially when it comes to Deadpool's direct and annoying humor. Therefore, it is not unlikely that the jokes and writing of the game will not be very interesting for some. But if you enjoy Deadpool's specific jokes in movies and comics, this game will probably appeal to you as well. Some of the best superhero games we've seen over the years owe their success to the deep understanding of the greatest strengths of their characters in their stories. And if we put a Deadpool 2013 on the level of these titles, we are exaggerating, but we have to thank the team for accurately identifying what made a Deadpool Deadpool. Story-wise, Deadpool was by no means a special game. The game presented a plausible story that appealed to fans of the character and the X-Men universe, but in the end, the story was the only place where our hero was able to shine. Of course, we shouldn't forget the wonderful performance of Nolan North as a Deadpool and the jokes that the writing team wrote for him at the beginning of the game. As I mentioned earlier, Deadpool was a simple hack-and-slash game and could entertain the gamer most of the time. The criticisms of the repetitive design of the stages were not misplaced, and this sense of repetition is palpable in the combat, but the core of the gameplay mechanics were satisfying in themselves. The main point that the game relied on was not its gameplay and combat, but its writing and humor. I never called it a masterpiece, but it was an incredible fun experience that has its downsides. A work that was made for fans of this character and was loved by them in many ways. Even the game's biggest defenders agree that it is an experience full of flaws, big and small, but the value that the title placed on Deadpool's outstanding trails, it's undeniable. The bitter thing is that legal access to this game is a big problem. The original and remastered versions of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Steam are not available because the Marvel and Activision contracts have expired and their license to use the Marvel characters have ended. The question we have now is whether any hope of releasing a new game from Deadpool in the near future. As much as we can say about the popularity of superhero titles these days, it is very little. We've seen a huge flood of AAA games in the genre over the past few years, and it's look like the trend isn't going to stop anytime soon. A long list of Marvel IPs is currently under construction, including Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, Marvel's Blade, Black Panther, Iron Man, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. So it is no surprise that the list goes even longer. Aside from the issue of overall popularity of superhero titles, we should also consider that Deadpool is currently at the peak of its popularity, so it's easy to imagine a scenario where talented studio develops a AAA game based on this character and ends up being a huge success. It's unclear if this scenario actually happened